asleep.
And we're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Whiskey Charlie, the War Game Chat, our live show every month on YouTube. I'm Mo from Mo's Game Table, and joining me tonight are my co-hosts, everyone's favorite Gimp with the Limp, the GimpyGamer, Nate Rogers. Hey, Nate.
Nice to see you all again.
Nice to see you. I've already started drinking.
I made an exception for our special guest.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. You need a couple more to put up with me through the whole hour.
And the War Game Wizard from Oz, Kev Sharp from the Big Board, unfortunately, is not going to miss tonight. I should say, fortunately, is not going to miss tonight, not unfortunately, because he missed last time, and now he's back in town, and he's online with us tonight. Welcome, Kev. And that was a big hello. And
I didn't want to slur or anything like that guy.
It was really good. Our special guest tonight is the big man himself, Rob Oren from Rob's Tabletop World. War and Pieces, everybody knows. Welcome for joining us, or welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us, Rob.
This is long overdue. I've been waiting for this invitation. I've actually had to beg to come on this show because it's so hot. You know, thanks for just finally letting me in into the boys club. Holy cow! I feel jobbed.
Well, it's about time we can get you on. We've been wanting to get you on for a while.
Oh, I know. It's just been
work, but
with everything going on.
Your agent said that you were really busy.
Yeah.
Is that what he said? Or she said?
Yes.
Where is the agent?
She.
Are we talking about the little agent or the wife agent?
The wife agent. Trust me. We all answer to her.
Yeah. So what's been going on, Rob? How you been?
Busy. You know, with everything going on, you know, which we're not going to mention, you know, in the world, you know, I've been busy, but on top of that, you know, you keep doing your content, trying to keep up on the channel, and just keep moving along.
Good God, you put out videos at a pace I can't even match.
And
I do this full time.
You do it. Wow. What do I do a week? I think I calculated it's almost like 14 to 13 videos a week.
That's insane.
Which I think it hurts me more than it helps me, because it's too much. But you know what the problem I run into is, a lot of times I will sit there and I'll have something in my head and I'll just flick the camera on. And I always said to myself, I go, I'm going to keep on doing this until I don't have anything to say, which I don't know when that'll ever be, because I've always got something to say.
Well, I kind of like it because I'll, you know, come outside and I'm working on whatever and I'm looking at my phone and I scroll over to YouTube and I say, oh, Rob's live. Okay, click. And I just start watching, and then I end up stuck on that for an hour, which has been profitable for me. Thank you, by the way, Rob. Always bet on 19. But I love catching your little painting videos, because I've started doing a little more painting myself, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna learn something new today.
Of the stuff that you were doing, you were doing really great, and Mo, you were killing it too.
Oh yeah,
Mo, you sent me some pictures.
You don't even want to touch a brush, right?
Me? No.
Kev,
no. I'll probably get to the point one of these days when I'm rich and famous. I'll pay someone to do that for me.
Well, the thing is he's really up to that edge. He keeps he keeps getting tempted, but he's going like micro armor and things like that. Mm-hmm. And you know what's going to happen one day is Kev's going to go, you know, I think I made a mistake, and he's going to just like have a picture of like 7 boxes of like, there's going to be like 400 or 500 pieces of micro armor. Now I've got to paint.
I've been cleaning out. I've been trying to get this area under control, which is just impossible. There's over like 2,000 games here. And I finally worked my way over to a cabinet that I haven't been in about 5 years. I open it up. The first 2 shelves are nothing but micro armor. And I'm talking about thousands and thousands of boxes just filled with micro armor.
And I take it that's not an interest of yours at the moment, given it's been 5 years since you've been in the closet.
Well, the whole thing. Well, sweetie, it's like this. Now, the funny thing is I wanted to do the micro armor, and I rebuilt everything out here so I can do bigger games. I was using one of those table topper things from Berkey there.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work. It took up more space to have it on top of a table than it did to just build my own table. So I went and basically just I took it all apart, which was a whole adventure. And then I decided to make myself a 4x8 table from scratch. So I go down to Lowe's, okay, with a whole bunch of measurements and stuff like that. And I go, I want this. Of course, they cut it wrong. And I'm going, wait a minute, this should fit in here just right. So it's 4 by 8 foot and 6 inches.
Oh no!
But that's okay. That's all right. It actually fits better than the table topper did, because I was able to anchor all the monitors and stuff like that. And I came up with this game plan on how I'm going to do it. I wanted to do that. I wanted to do a little bolt action, believe it or not.
Nice.
I've been wanting to get that. I have all the scenery I made for it and everything like that. And I said, I got all this stuff. It's just time. It's just time to do it.
Well, plus that new stuff you got in the other day, that video I think you were doing yesterday, day before. What was the name of that stuff?
I build
those little cabins.
Yeah.
Oh, those are cool. Those are
my
cool.
God. As a matter of fact, I brought it out to show to my wife, and we put she does a village, a fall village every year. I go, here you go.
Oh, she's gonna be like, get more, make more.
Yeah. But you got.
But you didn't even have to paint it. Like, it looked great just right after being built.
Right.
Just putting it together, like a bunch of snap fit stuff, and it looked like a great piece of terrain right there. That's stuff.
Yeah. This is the castle. You don't even have to paint it. I was like, nah, come on, you kidding me? And then I started putting it together, and I said, well, this is probably like really, really hard. I got so into it. I mean, it was so easy to do, and the pieces fit so. I had to glue 2 things, and that's only because I felt they were just a little loose. But everything fit together perfectly. Came out of the thing perfectly. It's brilliant.
3D,
it's going
3D printed.
Laser cut,
right?
Laser cut. But the way they built it, Kev, I mean, these guys have to be architects or something,
right? Because
as you were putting it together, and you're going, "Are you kidding me? I mean, how does this go together so perfectly?" And then all of a sudden, you start putting, you're building each level, and then all of a sudden, they made it where the roof opened up. And then you can look in, and you got the staircases and all this other, and you're like, wow, this stuff is just butsy.
Well, Downriver Rick was watching the show, and he said you were in the zone putting that together.
Oh God. And what it was is they got a hold of me out of nowhere, and they go, do you want to look at this? And I hate doing Kickstarter stuff. All right.
I love Kickstarter stuff.
What?
I love Kickstarter stuff.
I'll tell you why I don't like it. And I'm going to shoot here a little bit. First of all, half the time they get a hold of you, all right, they don't tell you everything, and they give you a crappy prototype. All right. So how do you convey their message with a really bad prototype?
Yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2, I hate when they pull I'm going to send you this. Make the video and then send it to X, Y, and Z. So
sure, as long as you're paying for it.
Well, sometimes they don't give you the label.
Yeah. Well,
and then you end up paying it, and you don't want any problems or anything like that, so you ship it out. I go, well, I'm not doing this anymore. And then, they take advantage of the fact that usually 99% of the time, I like to do things for free. Now I just go, oh, my time is $600
per hour.
Then I never hear from them again. Thank you.
Yeah.
And for me, unless it really interests me,
I'm
not even going to look at it anymore. I used to try to help everybody, but I realized you can't save the world. Okay.
I got
Well, that's the thing.
I got on
Go ahead,
Phalanx's list at one point. Yeah, sorry, mate. But I got on Phalanx's list at one point, and so they sent me 3 different games. One I did something for, but I didn't really like it, so I kind of said, "Here's the video. Good luck." Right. And then they did Freedom, which I really did like, but the prototype was so dark and murky that it didn't film well. So I sent it to them, said, "Use it if you want, but here's my thoughts on it." Then they sent me some goofy space game, which was really super light, and I really didn't get it. And I said, "Hey, look, I can't do this one. I'll send it somewhere for you, but you don't want me doing a video on this." So
Yeah.
so I just shipped it off for them. I never heard from them after that. That was it. They did send me 3 copies of Freedom though, for some reason. I don't know. I've still got 2 here. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with them. Use them as a bookend or something.
The final thing with it is a lot of, I try to schedule everything. Okay. I try to have my week planned before I go into my week. Like I know what I'm going to do pretty much every single day. There's some variances, but sometimes things will show up at the door and then you feel this, I got to get this out right away. Like I had some stuff show up at the door yesterday and I went, okay, these guys have been really good to me. Let me get this video. So now it screws up my whole schedule. And then, you add Kickstarter into it. And if you get one of them where, oh my God, this makes no sense. How many times have you gotten that?
Right.
Like you said, you're reading it and you go, wow, this is really bad. How I can't make this video. I've done that a few times too, Kev. I can't make this video.
Yeah.
You just tell them the truth. Like I'll burn you if I make this video, and I'm just going to go away.
I don't want to say. I hate saying anything negative.
Right.
I really do.
Me too.
About a game or something like that, because you know something. What makes me an expert at this? Okay, not a thing. Not a thing.
What makes anybody an expert, though?
Right.
Nothing.
I have a couple of cameras and I have a YouTube channel. Does that make me an expert at war games, miniature games, or anything like that? It's my opinion, which really doesn't mean much. As a matter of fact, nobody's opinion means too much. Right. Someone took the time to come up with something. They made a game. Guess what? No matter how bad it is, it's still a game.
Right.
Okay. It'll amuse somebody. It'll be good for somebody.
Yeah, because everyone's got different tastes and interests and appeal, and so you gotta. I think you tend to do it a lot from the videos I've watched of yours. You talk about how you feel about things, and you make people understand that it's your feel and your opinion versus well, this is absolutely no one will like it, right? I don't like that style of approach, and it doesn't help anything anyway.
I've seen it, and it makes me uncomfortable. I've seen people do it, and I'm like, you just come off. How can I say it without swearing?
Incredibly pretentious.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. You come off like more. Really, what makes you expect it? Nothing makes you an expert.
Quantity can be its own expertise, because just like you were talking about, and look behind you, there are games packed to the ceiling. You've played all those games. You've handled them. You painted them. You've experienced it. Well, everyone has their wall of shame. I've got mine that, stuff that I need to get to.
In other words, he's not a collector. We've seen collectors.
There's experience.
There's nothing wrong with being a collector, though.
So what works. Mm-hmm. You know what doesn't work. You know what's excelled before. You know when someone's trying to tread some new ground that looks promising. That does give you an expertise, and people are going to pay attention to that, because most people don't have this huge collection and they don't get to try everything. So they do rely on your word. They're going, does Rob like this? I generally like what he likes. Yeah, so if he doesn't like it, I'll stick away from it. If he does like it, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
So let me ask the 3 of you something, okay?
Sure.
And you guys can decide who wants to answer this question. All right. You go back 30 years, the 90s, okay? Which was a decent time for games and stuff like that, okay? Before you were doing this and there was YouTube and all this other stuff, did you have a harder time reading rules back then than you do now?
I'll let them answer it. I was like 8.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You just look old.
I'm just a little baby. It's the gray coming through from all the stress of the kids.
We'll
So
give you
you're still at the
20
same
years. When
reading
you were
level.
18, when you started playing and you went, oh my God, these rules are daunting compared to being someone that does videos and review. All of you guys do a fantastic job at reviewing games or breaking down games, opening boxes. At least you open the boxes, for crying out loud. The thing is, did you find it harder when you first started playing and to understand the rules than when you open it up now and go, I get this, I've seen this before 1,000 times. Now, what are the little different things? I find I understand things a lot easier now.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you, I'm doing a good example. Absolute Victory was the first war game I ever covered for my channel. Absolute first one. And I'm recovering it now. And the difference in my knowledge that I have now, the base that I'm coming from what I had then, I remember I was reading the rule book and I'm like, what the hell is a zone of control? What's supply lines? What the hell does this mean? I had no clue.
I just want to shoot stuff.
Fortitude.
Worry about this other crap.
Yeah. D10s. What's a D10? Oh, that's a multiple sided die. I thought all dice were 6-sided. Okay. Well, that kind of makes sense. Like, I had no clue at that time. So looking at it now with an experienced eye, it's world changing. It's almost like a brand new game. It's far different from what I remember it as, because I'm looking at it with rose colored glasses at that time frame.
Right.
But yeah, huge difference with that wall of experience, those years behind it now.
And Kev, you cover the big boy games.
A lot of them. Yeah. Some of them. Yeah.
I mean, you cover the big boy games.
He's a machine.
Yeah. You find it a lot easier now, right?
Pretty much. I think it's exposure, right? You can skim through things and get it, and then you go back and pick out the nuances and kind of go from there. But it also, I think rule book writers and designers today, the fresher, newer crew that are coming up and rising through, like that Herman Lutman guy, some other guy here, Dave Thompson's another guy.
Dave Thompson.
They're doing amazing things with games and rule writing. Hollenspiel and even Lock and Load is trying to up their game to make their games approachable and consumable, and I love that. So that they make life a lot easier. So then I can go get chewy and meaty with thin red line games, crazy detail nonsense, or OCS and stuff.
I had a chance to talk to that guy. What a tremendous guy.
Isn't he great? Yeah. Provisio is fantastic. Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
It was really
people.
good. Got to talk to him, work some things out. It was just phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I think what the other guys have said already is true. I mean, the more you play games, the more experienced you are. You can just kind of go, oh, yep, that's a Zoc, no, that's supply, like Nate was saying, and you understand it. But there is a little bit of a caveat to that. You can almost become a little jaded to the point where you're like, you start playing it and you're like, oh, that's stupid. What the hell kind of game? Oh, I missed that part of the rule because I assumed.
I post on BGG. I'm like, hey, why does this work this way? And then you go back and about 2 hours later, and four people reply and say, hey, you're an idiot. And then you go back and read the rule and go, oh, I need to go delete that question because I worked it out. I'm that guy.
Yeah, I actually have a name for that. I call it rules bleed, because you're reading so many rule books that they all start to bleed together, and you can't keep track of what rule goes with what game. I've had that numerous times. I'm trying to remember, okay, supply lines are handled this way in this game and this way in this game. And then I find out later I've been playing it backwards, for the past couple of videos.
I love that. I'm making a note.
Well, you don't have to worry about
it's a funny
tactical stuff.
Oh, go ahead.
No, with tactical stuff, you don't have to worry about supply lines. You just have to worry about line of sight. And that in its own right could be its own game.
Yeah.
That could be a real headache.
Well, you take like you get so used to playing a certain style of game, and then something like, we'll use David Thompson since he's in here. Like I played Undaunted Normandy there, which I thought was fantastic because it was such a spin on things, and yet it still had that strategic element of it. I've got to get North Africa. Have you guys played that one yet?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I like it. It fits a niche. It's light. It's consumable, and I think it can. It's engaging, and I think it'll allow people who might not be a war gamer go, oh, okay, this is kind of cool. So I think it's an interesting crossover game. I don't believe it's the panacea to wargaming, as some folks have said, but I believe it's a good game.
It is one though that I think I could get my wife to sit down and play.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
good enough that I could teach my little boy how to play it. You know, it is a good crossover. You know, if you're not necessarily into war games, it's one that you might try and find. Okay, well, war games aren't what I thought they were. There's some fun to be had here, and it could have you trying some of his other stuff.
It's nice because it gets young minds to think.
Right.
And that's what we miss. And I've said that 1,000 times. One of the biggest things about War and Peace is I'm not here to appeal to the older crowd because I'm not their guy. What I'm trying to do is get that new breed in and get them, hey, look, this is a lot of fun. This is history. This is going to teach you something about humanity and how it reacts. You're going to learn things. You're going to learn about the brave. You're going to learn about the weak.
Yeah.
Okay. And what you're going to get out of this, as well as just sit down and spend some time instead of on your phone or, you know, with a controller in your hand, which there's nothing wrong with that. I play video games at times.
Sure.
But, you know, pick your head up, start using some of that gray matter that you have. You have a very large brain. Don't use that one little piece of it.
Yeah, but you've actually got a really good platform for doing that because you do cover such a wide variety of games.
Yeah, I'm a train wreck.
Card games, D&D, miniatures games, war games. I mean, you cover a little bit of everything, so you're not going to have just the war game crowd, which does tend to be a little bit older. You're going to have that younger crowd, which I think is a good thing because it's going to expose some of your audience to games they might not have considered previously.
Absolutely. And being able to be kind of a stepping stone, I consider myself a stepping stone for a lot of different things, because the one thing I like to do, I just do what the hell I want. I don't give two shits what anybody thinks. Okay. I don't have to be cult of the new. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. You know, and I've been very fortunate. I've got great sponsors and a lot of different things. I'm not the best painter in the world, but I can get somebody to pick up a brush, try it, and if they like it, well, go here, go there, go there, go there. War games. I have a lot of enthusiasm for it. It's one of my favorite things to do. Okay. I can get people to a point and then go, well, go check that guy out. Go check this one out. Go check that one out. You know, if you try to compare yourself, and you know, I've said this 1,000 times lately, you know, it's the thief of joy. Yes. And Teddy Roosevelt said, don't compare yourself to anybody else. Just be your own self. Do your own shit. And don't be afraid to point somebody in the right direction. Right. Because when those people go, hey, you know something, you want to try board gaming? Go look at this guy first. He'll get you where you need to go, and then come over here with me, and you're going to have a blast.
You know, on that note, that's a great segue. We'll talk about something real quickly here about talking about pointing other.
Bring them in, Gimp. That's what I do.
Yeah,
Gimp, bring them in.
Come here, buddy.
Yeah, just bring them in. How many times has my granddaughter, you know, popped on this show? Hey, buddy. What's up there,
show
bud?
him your cast.
Whoa.
Second time, right?
Yep, second time. He broke this arm twice in a month. So
Bradley, what?
Here, ask it and I'll tell him.
So Bradley, what happens when you do it a third time? You say, "Daddy, I scored a hat trick."
Bradley, they think you're going to break your arm a third time. Are you going to do that? No, don't nod your head yes. You're killing me with medical bills here, buddy.
Listen, go up to the top rope.
Shh. What? He said you're awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He's definitely
Go
going to
ahead,
grow
Rob.
up and be a Marine, that's for sure, because he broke his arm twice on the hip hop. And tell him the second time what happened, what you told me. How it was bent, and he was like trying to put it back in.
He was trying to shake it out because he broke this part of his arm, but he broke it clear through.
Nice.
And he's walking up and he's like shaking his arm like this, like he's going to put it back in place. And I'm like, stop before it just completely falls off. You're going to kill me. I don't want him to have to reattach it. And it just looks so bad because it's almost like he had a second elbow right in there. He had broke it that hard.
Yeah.
All right.
He's just all man, like his old man.
Yeah,
he is.
He's just all man.
I've got him into gaming though.
Off the top.
I made that Blood Bowl team for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the undead are his team.
There you go.
All right, tell everybody goodbye, bud, and go to bed.
You know how you beat the undead? Go get those plague bearers, bro.
Oh, I actually just got the Nurgle Rotters. That's actually what I used that gift card for.
There you go.
All right, buddy.
Later, pal.
Go. Bye.
He's adorable.
Stole the show.
Yeah, that's great.
Buddy, you're killing me. He's 5 and he doesn't listen very well. It's bedtime. Go, or I'm going to ground you and take your tablet. Go.
I didn't come up and just punch you. No, you're not, Daddy. But what I was saying was, talking about pointing to other channels. I know this has already been mentioned by a couple of people online, and Kev has pointed it out. Tom the Wargamer, a young man that is really enthusiastic about war games and trying to help people out by showing really cool and informative videos on how to get started in wargaming, fairly inexpensive. He's 12 years old. Everybody here that's in the chat right now, go give that kid a subscription.
Oh, is that the British kid?
Yes. Yeah. He's got.
I know who you're talking about.
He's over 200 subs now. So
has he got 200 subs? That's awesome.
He's got 200 subs. Yeah. Let's raise it up a little more.
He had 5. He had 5 when I found his channel. I think someone showed me the channel, and I was one of them. So he had 4. So I'm glad he's got 200 now. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's doing the
what's he called? Tom the Wargamer. Tom the Wargamer.
Yeah. You need to shout him out because he's in your world, man. All the minis and
I'll check him out.
And
he's an articulate young man. He really is. He's a smart kid. And so exciting to see enthusiasm like that. At that
always somebody popping up. Every time you turn around, you ring a bell, there's another YouTuber.
Exactly. But his content's good. His content's good.
Yeah.
I have noticed that there has seemed to have been like this new influx, especially within the past year, of a bunch of new YouTubers jumping on.
A lot of people have been stuck at home for the past 6 months.
So they grab a phone, a camera, or whatever, and boom, and some of them are really good.
I noticed they're doing kind of what I did when I first started, which is commenting on the channels that are bigger than they are. Like, hey, awesome video. By the way, check out me. Yeah, and a few of them commented on mine. I'm like, oh, that's awesome that they're the young blood coming up behind me is doing the same thing.
Stigler says that he sees a Kickstarter for Gimpy's family deductible coming up.
Well, with 3 and 1 on the way, there's plenty.
You got one on. You got one on the way.
Yeah.
Oof.
She is 12 weeks now.
When'd you do
that? Should be end of February, beginning of March.
My daughter-in-law is due January 31st.
Hey, congrats.
That's awesome.
First quarter babies, congrats.
Huh?
And now you can have another, Rob.
I got to get the queen to look at me.
Talking about Rob's channel here's Herman Lepman saying, Rob cost me more money than anyone I know. He did it again today with his Dungeoneer show. So another sale for Rob Oren.
So much fun. That stuff is so much fun.
That's the one that's just huge, right?
No, it's just this little box thing.
Cards.
And there's eight different things. You can tie them all together. And then I took some solo rules that was on BGG and I kind of tweaked them a little bit. And I went, ooh, I think I got something here. I go, turn on the camera.
Good
turn on the camera.
Right.
You know what I found that during this, during everything that's going on, do you find yourself finally opening up some things that you haven't, you've heard? There have been some games that that everybody goes, you got to try this. This is like Zaya, which is a game that I really, really was like, whoa, I've had this for like 6 years. Because when I go to Gen Con, I go there with about $5,000. I don't care. Give me that.
Can I go with you?
Give me that. Yeah, sure. I can afford it. Can I have that? Can I have that? Can I have that? Can I have that? And then I ship it all home. And then my wife loses her mind when there's 27 boxes sitting in the great room. And she goes, what are you doing? Where are you going to put it? I go, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You just do what you do, and I'll do what I do.
I mean, you built an outbuilding just to have your little game.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right? So you're all set.
I'm all set. So I open it all, I put it on the shelf, and then I don't touch any of it. Not maybe one or two things. So a couple of games, I've actually started going, I got that at Gen Con 6 years ago. All right, let's go check that. Let's check that out. Well, hey, this is really good. Or, whoa, this is really bad.
I've done that a couple times. I know exactly what you're talking about. Although I don't get the extended, I'm going to get 30 boxes worth. Oh. The wife gives me a quantity of, you can pick one, honey.
The UPS people get to know me by Thursday. By the end of Thursday.
They hate you by Friday.
They hate me by Friday. I leave. I fill up. I go, okay, let me go ship this out because I don't want to bring it back to my room. So I go right to the UPS guy. Boom, 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 boom. Get it out. Go back in there. Walk around a little bit. Get another big load. Okay, let me go over there. Let me set this out. I don't want to bring this back to my room.
Well, hold up. How much do you actually get to cover that is like you choosing to do it? Because I've noticed, success is kind of its own burden, and the fact that I feel an obligation. If someone sends me the game, I feel obligated to cover it. Right?
Oh yeah.
So I don't get to choose so many of the games that I'm covering. I've got the backlog that has to be covered before I can do anything that's a personal project.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When I go there, here's the thing. I try to find all that little indie stuff that's going to interest me and stuff like that. Like years ago, God, what the heck was it called? It was the Martian game. It was the War of the Worlds. It's done now. It's how I met
biplanes.
Mars Attacks or
no. On Martian Front. I forgot it. It's been so long.
All Quiet on the Martian Front.
Yeah, All Quiet on the Martian Front. Okay, now nobody was talking about that, but I bought everything for it. And early on, I painted it all up, played the battle, World War I, tanks and stuff like that. Of course, you glued on a couple Tesla guns, and hey, let's go take down some Martians. Nice. And the Martians were like impossible to take down at times, but it was just so much fun. I would go find that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And just I wasn't worried about the hot Euro game that was coming out that everybody was in line for. I went to the back where people didn't, nobody was paying attention to some of the stuff, and it didn't get hot till later on.
Rob's walking through like back seedy aisles, and they're like,
"Oh God, yeah!"
You want just throwing cash. Come on over here.
Now, coming out of Gen Con, there's always somebody that will come up and go, "Hey, you're Rob's Tabletop World. Will you review this?" Yeah, sure. So I would mark on the box, make sure you get this as soon as you get home. And those first 2 weeks back from Gen Con, woo, I mean, because you feel so obligated, you don't push it off.
Yeah.
And I, to this day, like I got a Jacobites Rising, Compass's new game they sent to me. That video goes up tomorrow. I spent the whole weekend reading that and going through it. And Richard Borg, I mean, he could take any type of theater and make a game out of it using that system. He did it with the Red Alert with the space. Yeah, there you go. Now that the American Revolution, World War II, the Pacific, Ancients, which I love Ancients.
Oh yeah, his great battles of history stuff.
But
yeah,
I love playing with Ancients. Have any of you guys ever played DBA or the Bellis.
I've seen DBA played. I watched a game in Seattle one time. It looks pretty cool. I almost jumped in then with Ancients.
That's
Nice.
the one. That's the one that's going to get you because is it DBA or no? There's two of them. There's the big scale, and then there's the little 1 foot imprint. Where you're
not one I know.
The larger battles. I'd be curious to see like the whole Punic War, Second Punic War. That'd be
Nice.
you could do it, but what you're given is 11 elements. Okay. And the other side has 11 elements, and then you're going to put certain terrain on there. Now you could fight anywhere in history. It could be Romans versus
The Jacobites.
perfect example. Exactly. And you could play that out. So you could see different periods and times, the Persians, what they would have done against, so forth and so on. And
it sounds kind of like HeroScape.
Nah, it's a lot cooler because the movement, they have tournaments of it at a lot of wargaming conventions. Right. It's really, it's the Blood Bowl of Ancients.
Hold on, what's it called again? Just Ancients?
DBA. DBA is a tournament level game where each of you get 12 units. I thought it was 11 units, Herman. I thought it was 11 units. Maybe you're right. It's 12.
Damn it, Rob, you're putting stuff on my list again.
I'm telling you, it's 15 mil. 15 mil?
That's right. Yeah.
15 mil, and it is glorious. You start building it, and it becomes very personal because just like Blood Bowl, when you build that team, you have these units, and then you'll have other ones that you can kind of rotate in depending on who you're playing. Maybe you're allowed to take 2 chariots or something instead of, elephants and things like that. It's just
it sounds kind of like a tabletop Total War then.
It's like a tabletop chess, but it's a lot more strategic. There's dice.
But it's only Ancients, but anyone from the Ancients period can be in it.
Anything. You could go from, I think it's American Revolutionary all the way back to cavemen, for crying out loud.
Wow.
Oh, so you can have muskets versus like bows and arrows and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Oh, that sounds actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really interesting how it plays, and then how you engage is just ridiculous. It's balanced. It's phenomenal. Anybody can win. You really got to be smart and know what you're doing. Have a good feel for it, and if you could compare it to, I don't know, you could kind of compare it. Sea miniatures can't
do that with cardboard.
You can't do that. Sea miniatures. You can't do that with cardboard.
Sea miniatures. Can't do that with cardboard.
No, you could do it with cardboard. There was actually a website at one time, and this is going back. I'm sorry, I'm taking up all the time here.
Oh, you're the guest. That's the point.
Oh, I feel like Uwe.
We're here for you. We're here for you, bro.
I feel like Uwe. You guys ain't gonna get a word. But the neat thing about it was that they actually, back in the day, they had a website, and you would actually play against people, and you could buy into it. I think it's still around.
That's a cool idea.
But you could also do it with cardboard if you had to. All you have to do is it's more about the bases,
right?
And just naming it. Well, these are my spearmen. These are my archers. These are my. As long as you have the proper bases, you don't have to have miniatures on it. You could just paste, a nice. Now, of course, tournaments they want.
When you have those bands and you've got the phalanxes and the light cavalry and the median cavalry and the shield walls, and you've got sign me up. I'm just soul and all this beautiful artwork. I see these guys painting this stuff with big magnifying glass, like you do, all this crazy stuff, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm all over that acting. No,
when you you need to. You need to. I'm telling you, start small. 15 mil, you'll be there. Call me.
Even smaller.
We'll get you on the show, and we'll just paint 15 mil live.
Nice.
Kevin Robb. I can see it now.
I don't think so.
Dude, I couldn't paint 15 mil. It's just it's too damn small. There's no way you can get any detail to it.
Be surprised.
That's not
Be
that
surprised.
Yeah,
Be
15 is
surprised.
not too bad. It's 6. When you get down to 6, it's great.
Oh,
Let me pull out my Space Hulk and show you how bad they look. Painting is not happening. It's not good.
I did Napoleonic 6 mil.
Oh yeah, really? 6 mil. Wow. Epaulets.
I got detail out of it.
Wow.
I'd pull it out right now if I don't know that
See,
cabinet.
The way I look at it,
We'll save that for next
15 mil
show.
or lower, 15 mil or lower, just block the colors and then give it a wash and call it a day.
Right.
No, like a moron, I sat there with that 6 mil, drawing little armbands,
What?
putting the holster, the belts.
You're a stud. That's
Oh.
awesome. But it looks so
Could
good. Right? I'd be taking pictures all day and then posting stuff and nothing would happen, but it'd be crappy.
I had mustaches on my 6. Oh, see, he's got to one up everybody. He's got to.
How the
one up
hell?
everybody.
How? I mean, you'd have to have a paintbrush with one like bristle in
He's
it.
gonna make me go over there and pull them out, aren't you?
That'd be awesome.
I think he just threw the gauntlet down.
All right, hold on.
You've been challenged.
Now it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Watch, we're not going to see him for like 10 minutes. Hear
Or
something
here's a big
crash.
avalanche. Exactly. There's going to be like
See all the
500
cardboard
games.
fall down. Crash.
I'm sorry.
I'd feel
I'm
bad
sorry,
if we
everyone.
killed Rob with his board games.
Oh.
I
Florida
called
man
dibs on
found
his
buried
collection,
under- Oh, jeez. Wow. Don't even wait for the corpse to get cold.
No, man, I got to get my dibs in there early before someone else beats me to it.
Oh, you lose out because Rob not only survived, but he was able to pull in the
All
games.
right. Now
You know,
you want
while-
to don't
While you
throw
were walking
rocks.
off to go get your miniatures there, I just want you to know that we were concerned for your safety, thinking that maybe the wall of games was going to come crashing down on top of you. And just to show you the level of care, Gimpy immediately goes, I'm calling dibs on his collection. So
It's in the will, bro. It's in the will.
I got to show my love by taking care of all of it.
There you go. There we go.
Now, are these generic minis or they go specifically with the game?
Generic. Oh, let's see if I can do this here.
Oh, they're so tiny. Look
Holy
at those.
crap. And those are 6 mil?
Yep.
that's insane.
Oh, shit.
Those are 6 mil.
Nah, 15, I think it'd be probably maybe 10. Anything below that, and I'm like, yeah.
Now here's how stupid I even put. Oh God, I don't know if you can see that. Hold on, let me fix my camera here.
I even put a little apple that's in the horse's mouth.
I put saddles on them. That's how.
Really?
sad. Yeah. I have issues.
Well, we know that.
That's dedication.
That is.
That's a sickness.
It's obsession.
I don't see how you paint as much as you do as quickly as you do. You'll finish an army in like a week, and it takes me an evening just to do a miniature.
Speed paint.
It's game planning. I that's what I find. I'll look at something like already, like we're doing this guy on Thursday.
Nice.
All right, so he's huge, right?
Yeah.
So I take him out of the package, and then I will sit here and I will look at it and go, okay, what do I want to do? Well, I want his boots to be, I want to go brown, and then I want to have metal plates over that, and then I want to do this. So I start planning all the colors. How am I going to do that? What am I going to paint where I can paint where I the whole thing is not to have any wasted motion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So do I paint this one section just to get it painted, and then I can't paint anything else? I have to sit here and wait for it to dry. No, I try to get things and build out. So I'm constantly, well, while that's drying over there, I can paint this in here, work on this, and then come back over here and do X, Y, and Z. So I'm constantly coming up with a game plan for everything.
I was actually going to ask you if you had tried the contrast paints from GW.
Yes.
What did you think of those?
Some of them are very, very good, and some of them are just shite.
Yeah.
I seem to kind of have the same experience. The green, like I tried it for the first time the other night when I was painting some of that Blackstone Fortress stuff.
Okay.
And I found the green worked really well. It gave a nice depth to the model. But the yellow was so hard because you had to have such a light hand. If you got just a bit too much paint on it, it turned to orange.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was very hard, like, to get the right amount of paint to it. And I understand it's wanting to go into those creases, but once you've got too much paint on there, there's almost no going back. Well, I did find the coverage to be excellent, though.
Yeah, it's very good. I've been enjoying a lot of Army Painter stuff, not because they're a sponsor of the show, not because they're a sponsor show. I always used to have problems with it, and I would shake and I would shake and I would shake, and nothing but medium would come out. It wasn't until I started adding the ball bearings in, or whatever they call them, that I really started to understand how to use it and properly use it. And their color range is ridiculous. Now, there are just certain things that I will go back to Citadel all the time, washes and things like that. You know, some of their technical paints, you know, that Citadel does is off the chart. Tesseract, there you go. But I'm finding that Army Painter's catching up very quickly. And they're becoming very, very, it's affordable, which is most important.
That's the key. What you're getting versus what you're paying for.
Yes.
Citadel is almost $7 a pot now.
It's something a pot.
$7.80.
Yeah. That is just outrageous for paint.
But that's the big pots. If you get the half size of these, they're like 4 and change or something. But then
I think they're 5 something.
Really?
I
got these too. These little D&D ones. They have those little sets where they come with the mini.
Yeah.
They're not bad. They're actually got good pigment and they flow nicely. Yeah.
You can get the Army Painter stuff though for about $3 a bottle.
Yeah.
And sometimes less if you buy it in bulk.
Yep.
Sure. Well, that's
like if you buy one of their bulk sets, we're talking 50, 100 paints, whatever.
That mega paint set is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was the first pro set I got.
Because
it
gets the job done.
Yeah, it was $2 a bottle when you get it in the bulk.
And their washes have improved greatly. I mean, everything that they have done, the dry brushes that they just came out with,
those are nice.
Oof. It's a game changer for me.
Yeah.
It really is. It actually makes me paint even faster.
Wow. Do you ever watch Wargamer Girl paint?
Pardon me?
Do you ever watch Wargamer Girl paint? She's a big.
I think she used to do.
What's the fantasy stuff she does?
War Machine. She's a War Machine girl.
War Machine.
Yeah. I watched her in the early years, like maybe 5-6 years ago. I haven't seen her since.
Yeah. She's doing a lot of live painting and chatting.
Really? Cool. She's a very talented.
Yeah.
Very talented girl. Well spoken.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it helps to have a pretty girl in the hobby too. That's going to attract people.
That never hurts. Yeah.
Well, you know something, and I always felt, I wonder how they feel about it. And you know, maybe I'll stretch the line here a little bit, but I don't care. What do I care?
What do I care? It's not my show.
It's not my show. They'll just ban him. No, the thing is that there's not a balance there. Okay. Do they watch her because she's attractive? You know, a lot of these guys watch her because she's attractive. What they don't realize is that she's a very intelligent, smart. She knows her stuff. She knows the game's inside and out. Her video quality is ridiculous. And then sometimes you'll see in the comments, well, I used to see back then, oh my God, you're so hot, this, that, the other. How many of those guys, do they get ticked off over that? You know?
You can't. You got to let it wash off.
Yeah, you got to watch.
Otherwise, that shit'll it'll just eat away at you.
My point is that here's some people that are just very talented. Why don't you just like them because they're talented, not just because it's a pretty girl?
Right.
Where you have a guy that might resent her,
right?
Because more people will watch her because she's attractive than the same guy that has the same amount of talent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think in the early days, she seemed like she wore a lot more makeup and was really using her femininity to present herself. But I think the last few videos, last time I watched her was maybe 6 months ago. It seems like she was much less makeup and just very comfortable, more comfortable being herself than she was perhaps 4 or 5 years ago. I had a buddy reach out to me and pointed her out to me, saying, "Hey, you should do some sort of collaboration with her." And I went, "Like what?" Like,
paint my numbers with Kev.
Little counters, and she does minis. But anyway, I think she was more, I'll say, alluring than and I think she seems more comfortable.
The thing that I like that she used to do is she would introduce the video and she'd be in front of the camera.
Yep.
Okay. At the end, she'd be in front of the camera talking about at the end of the battle report. The whole rest of the video was just her playing the game.
Exactly.
And you looking at the table. And that's when you knew, all right, this girl gets it.
She gets it. She's a gamer. Right?
She's a gamer. It's not about, I want to get 100,000 whatever people. She was, I love this game. I'm going to promote this game. She was a Kandor, or I think it was Kandorian. It was like the Russian version army or whatever. And she loved them. And that was her favorite army. That's what I remember. But talented beyond belief.
You can't exactly falter for using what God gave her to her advantage.
No.
Yeah. I mean, more props to her. I've got no problem with a girl.
Whatever your shtick is going to be, your shtick is going to be. Perfect example is look at what you did, Nate. Called yourself the Gimpy Gamer. You know, and at first people were like, "What the hell?" And then they find out, the background on it, and they're like, "Oh, okay, it's a hook." It's something that gets people in. I've got the Jane hat. Kev's got his smart ass remarks.
Rob's built like a brick shit house.
Rob's got tree trunks for arms.
No, look.
So
there's
this. Wait. I have a question. So for the longest time, I thought Derek, what's his last name? Derek
Case.
Derek Case. That's right.
Yeah.
I thought Derek Case only had one hand because he called himself a
single-handed
hand. Like you're an idiot.
You watch this video and you're like, "Holy crap!"
Wow! Look at her move! Look at her move! Where did he get that other hand from?
I'm happy the guy got the operation finally.
Sorry.
That is funny. But one of the things, Rob, I wanted to touch on real quick is
now we're gonna actually ask a question.
Yeah, well, with your channel, this is a great thing about having Rob on because he knows and it's just free form. But you do a lot of good things with your channel, not just showing people games and stuff, but you also do charity work as well. So why don't you talk a little bit about the charity work you do with Rob's Tabletop World?
Well, when we first started, the whole reason I started with the channel was charity, to raise charity money.
I didn't know that.
Oh God, that was the only reason I did anything. It actually started with the Dice Tower. The reason I started the channel, I had built this 4x4 trench of the Death Star.
Oh, nice.
For X-Wing.
Sweet.
I still have the molds for it. I molded each piece. It was 396 pieces.
Damn.
Okay. And I built this Death Star and the trench run. And we had rules. You had to come down and then go down the trench and try to make the hit.
Just like playing X-Wing?
Playing X-Wing. You used X-Wing.
Oh, I love X-Wing. That's my game.
Yeah. Oh, I'll send you some pictures. Matter of fact, the video is still out there.
I might have seen it because I've seen a video with the trench run. I might have watched that a few years back when I first got into X-Wing.
Could have been mine. It was the first video I did, and I built it to bring it to the Dice Tower convention and auction it off for his charity because I had heard about his son. Mm-hmm. I think we got like $500 for it. Nice. I built it in 2 days. That's how sick I was in the head. Still am. And then he asked me to be part of the Dice Tower. I said, that's fine. All I want to do is, plug things for your auctions and charity. So the next year, what's the name of the game? Forbidden Stars. You remember that one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I painted 4 sets of it. It was 96 pieces in each box. They had got me the game early. It was 3 days before the convention. It was 516 pieces or something like that. I had to paint in 4 days before the auction. Got it done. They auctioned them all off. They made a ton of money. And then, we started trying to, what I would do is all my extra games, we would auction them off and try to raise money. We tried to help a lot of the people that watched the channel. There were a lot of gamers that would be out of work. There was one guy that couldn't feed his daughter needed special formula. My wife would search the internet, found the formula. We paid for it, had it shipped to their house. So because he was out of a work teacher, we've paid
that
people
stuff can get
mortgages.
expensive.
Yeah, we've paid people mortgages, car payments, and we've tried to help as much as we can. Make a Wish was a big thing for me. So over the 5 years I've done this channel, we've tried to raise as much as we humanly can, to the point where, I took down my Patreon because there were some really bad individuals that took advantage of it, and I lost a lot of money, but I made sure all the charities got exactly what they wanted, and to this day, I'm still trying to fish it off.
Do you mind if I ask, how they took advantage of Patreon?
What I would do is, if they were a part of the Patreon for a year, I would paint them a game. Well, what they would do was drop off before the payment was due and then come back on. And they said I'd be here for a year. Or they would take advantage of it and say, well, I want this painted. And it's like, by the time I was done,
I want Kingdom Death Monster done.
We've had people that did that. And it just got to the point where there weren't good people doing it. There were a lot of people that were good, and we've got a lot of it done. But I found that, what I was doing with the money each month was helping people and putting it out. And I was taking a bath. Taking a bath. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to finish what I have to do. I think I have like 13 people left in the last 4 years. And, I'm finally done with it. I'm going to be happy to be done with it. I must have painted Blood Rage 50, 60 times. I can't even look at that game.
Oh no.
But
that's so unfortunate people would do that.
Oh yeah, but Children Cancer Cancer Society got a lot of money. 1 year I figured out that we donated close to $78,000.
Damn.
Shit.
That's awesome.
On a little shit channel like mine.
Yeah.
And
well, first off, it's not a little shit channel. You got a fantastic channel. Yeah. Let's be honest. I mean, blowing smoke.
And he's bigger than us. So what's he saying here?
Yeah, but he's also in Florida, so he's far away. We can talk smack. But
oh yeah, that's fine.
No. Yeah, he's Florida.
I see a WBC.
He might come and try and get you.
That's true. You got that reputation, but
I have that reputation, and I will do it.
But the thing is, when it comes to what you do with your channel, like we were talking about before, the stuff you do, you cover a lot of stuff, and then you do this work for charity. $78,000 is a lot of money, and that is a fantastic thing. Thank you for doing that. Yes. For all the people you helped out. That is really fantastic. Appreciate it.
You know who I have to really plug is my son, okay, who I'm very, very proud of. Wounded Warriors is a big thing of his.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they've helped me out before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We've given between our two channels $80,000.
Nice.
And I'm very proud of him. You know, he knows. You know, we've been in the military, a bunch of us here, and how important it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're all brothers.
Yeah,
even though
absolutely.
Even though go Army,
We aren't really Marines yet.
What is your son's channel name?
He's on Twitch. I think he called it. It is the most raunchiest channel you'll ever see. He plays World of Warcraft. It's what is it? High Warlords. High Warlord Steno.
Okay.
And once a year he does this thing where he does it for wounded warriors. It's a never-ending stream, and he tries to raise. He will stay up 48 hours playing that game on that stupid stream.
Jeez,
I don't know how. That's what he does right now.
We should do something like that. We should do a live stream for a charity. Sometime.
Yeah, why not?
We should.
Yeah,
should do it over.
I got all the cameras.
As long as it doesn't involve painting.
I was just going to say we're going to have a painting marathon with Kev learn how to paint, and we'll paint one mini. Yeah, 48 hours straight.
You know, something 12 hours. Try to reach a certain certain thing. You know, you always try. You know, in my line of work, which we're not going to talk about, I see a lot of bad things. Okay. And I've done this for a very, very long time. We've all seen things that we don't want to see. You've been through hell, Gimp.
Yeah,
all right.
Yes.
And you want to have faith in humanity in somehow.
Exactly.
And I think to feel human, you want to help others instead of always trying to outwit and harm or defend, or, you know, there's always this underlining current of mistrust and hatred. And I always felt that on my channel, the one thing I wanted to build was a community that cared about each other, that loved each other. Okay. At the end of every stream, tell people, listen, I love you all. Be safe, be good to each other. Tomorrows are never guaranteed.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Tomorrows are never guaranteed. And if you have that kind of feeling in your heart for your fellow man, you hope that you reach some people that are having hard times. Yeah. Reach some people that, you know, might have that one day that just, you know, it could be that one thin line. Life is a thin line, and all it takes is one tip of the pendulum, and somebody's off on the deep end of things. Yeah. If you could just do something and help one person, then you've had a pretty good life.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And that's all this channel has ever tried to do. It's become a cult now, the cult of Rob. But you know, I have the same group of
Orenites.
People. Yeah, you know, it's the same group of people. It's fine, and we have a lot of fun. And they keep coming back, and if they keep coming back, I'll keep doing it.
Well, you can't help yourself. You keep doing it no matter what. You even said yourself, I got something in the mail. I can't help myself. I've got to show it.
Well, I did. I did set something for myself, and I said that come next August, I think maybe I would hang it up. My eyes are starting to get bad. My hands are really, really bad as far as being able to paint. And I just said, you know, 5 years, that's a lot longer than a lot of channels have went. And then, you know, go out with your boots on. Go out with your boots on. Plus, you know, I'm an old guy. I'm old as hell.
Oh, you're really not that old. I mean, you're holding 60? Together pretty well.
What sort of filters do you use for your face?
Pardon me?
Look old.
Oh, the filter?
Yeah.
Which one is it? Soft touch with rosy cheeks.
Yeah.
There, that one. I'll send it to you, Kev.
The cherry. The cherry.
Take years off your life, bro.
Dude, I'm serious. I thought you were in your 40s when I saw you.
No.
I didn't know you were that old. Especially considering it looks like you'd still bench press the damn truck.
That I do. That I do. I've been very fortunate that I just won't stop. Just like it seems like the channel, I go every single day. I think in the last 2 years, I've missed 2 days
Damn.
of going to the gym. It becomes an obsession. I'm dedicated to it. It's about blunt force trauma and being able to have that ability to do it. Nowadays, you have to be able to, protect yourself, protect your family, protect the ones you love. Okay. And I'm built. I may not be the fastest guy, but if
You're built for that Planet of the Apes type of like, whoa, just pound on someone.
It's called natural selection. It's called natural selection, brother.
That's true.
You remind me of that Toby Keith song. You might not be as good as you once were, but you're as good once as you ever were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got maybe 2 more left. I got 1 reserved for somebody, and then I'm telling you right now, I keep 1 in my back pocket, and then that'll be it.
Here's an idea for the stream. We do a bunch of different games, and one of the games that we can have on the stream is a game that, as Kev has talked about doing quite a bit with Gimpy, Conflict of Heroes.
Right.
I would love that, and we could pull it off because I just got another camera. Boy, I don't have all my cameras on, but I just added another camera over here. So I have a camera here, 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 there, and over there.
That's because he doesn't just do his own, Rob's Tabletop World. He has his own chat line too, if you guys want to tune in after dark.
1-800 Oren.
Wait a minute, let me give you my good side.
And that is
so bad.
But the thing I try to bring is that when people tape a game, you don't get a real good feel for a game because they edit it and they clean it all up. The one thing
remains.
Well, I thought we did great with that game.
Well, they're saying a 4-player game now. Do a 4-player game. That could be part of the stream.
Although I gotta admit, I was watching it back after we played it, and I'm like, "What the hell are you doing? Don't move there. You're a moron. Don't do that." I threw the game at the end when I was moving that guy forward. I was like, I'm giving him the point. What am I doing? Watching the video later on, I was like, you need to fall back. It's just that mindset of no, go, get in there.
Always go forward.
Yeah, there is no.
Hold it. Did David Thompson say something?
Yes, he did.
Because I'm not going to acknowledge my victory because I we'll have a rematch. Actually, we're going to do Blood Bowl. We said we were going to do Blood Bowl.
He said
we need to do Blood Bowl.
He asked,
"Am I the only Air Force guy?"
Oh, I did not know that Dave was in the Air Force.
Wow.
Although it does make sense because
is the Air Force considered part of the military family?
Well, yeah, I've looked at him. He looks like he has the soft hands. So
okay, all right.
I could see him being in the Air Force. Sitting
Yeah,
behind a desk.
I can see it.
Okay, hold on.
I
Let's
can
get this settled right now. Being that we have an Air Force guy, is it Air Farce or is it Chair Force? Which one is it?
Is it?
Nah, we love you, brother. We love everybody who's in the military.
Oh God,
we do. We pick
God,
on each other, but hey, everybody that's in the military, thank you for serving, and we definitely highly respect every one of you.
Well, you can't hate them too much.
They at least have a football team.
Plus, they have good amenities. Staying on an Air Force base is like staying at a nice hotel.
It's like it's Hollywood.
It's a civilian job with a modified haircut and a grooming,
Hollywood.
With a grooming standard and a modified dress code is what it is being in the Air Force versus the other branches.
Yeah, as long as you don't have a ponytail, you're good to go if you're a guy in the Air Force.
Yeah, yeah. You just put tape over your earrings and all the other things.
Grow out your beard.
Grow out your beard.
No, we had an Air Force base down in Al Jabber something. I can't remember the name of it. It was near us. But we went down there when I was deployed, and we're just looking around like, what the hell? They're walking around in civvies. They got fast food.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in Kuwait. They had everything made, just gorgeous. And we're walking around looking like we've been beat to hell, dirty, haven't showered, I think, at that point in 2 months. And they're looking at us like, wow, you guys stink. Well, no kidding. We're Marines. We don't have all of this.
Well, I tell you what, Tom, the Puddle Pirates are awesome people. Let me tell you, because people make fun of the Coast Guard. Everyone does. I mean, it's part of the thing. But tell you what,
they're harder than you think.
They do a hell of a lot of stuff for security of our borders. And I'll tell you, the one
and
thing
they do have a football team.
and they have a football team. But the other thing is when you're stuck out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a bad storm, they're the only guys with the balls big enough to go out there and come get you, and you will be thankful that they will.
Yeah, and you'll be.
They've actually got a pretty hardcore boot camp too, don't they?
Yeah, they did.
Isn't it something like 11 or 12 weeks?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look what the job entails. They're going out there not only, interdicting drugs and stuff like that. They're dealing with maritime issues, and then these are the ones who go into crappy damn weather. You got a hurricane coming in, you got boats stuck out there. They're going into it when everyone else is running away from it. So
they had a nice college up in where they would get all their recruits ready up at Groton, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
That was what a beautiful facility. My brother played college football for Rhode Island, and I went to go see him, and they went to go play the Coast Guard. What a facility that was! It was gorgeous, gorgeous. I'll never forget.
I didn't even know they had a facility like that or a football team. So
yeah,
so that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it.
Australia, right?
Australia, yeah.
I've been watching Australian football until the cows come home. I love that. I played rugby.
You mean rugby?
No.
No.
Australian footy's different.
Oh, and it is glorious.
It's fun.
It is glorious.
That was the first
rugby a lot. I love.
When was
rugby.
The first time you saw Australian rules, Rob? When was the first time? Let's see if it was the same time I did.
Oh God, it had to be. I'll say 92, 94.
Really? Because I remember when we first got cable TV, we had this is back in New Jersey. We had cable TV, and we had I think at the time it was ESPN, if I remember correctly, when it first started. And the only thing they had was Australian rule football.
Well, no, you see, I lived by there. I lived by the
Australia?
Little ESPN.
Oh, okay, in Connecticut.
In Connecticut, in Bristol. Yeah. And they just had a little trailer. Mm-hmm. And all they used to show was up in Rocky Hill. They used to have the dirt track.
Uh-huh.
And that would be almost on like 24/7. And then they started getting other things. And then they got the Australian football. I forgot it was on back then, but I would watch that too.
Me and my friends in high school, we'd sit down and watch it. And we're like, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I think it's awesome.
Oh,
it's fun. I played it in high school. It was fun, but it obviously slightly different rules because it's a relatively rough sport.
Well, it's skill, yet rough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think they're in the round of 17 or round of 18 right now.
Yeah, it's getting down to the finals, and it's all messed up with COVID as well. So
yeah, but it's still it's so enjoyable to watch. I will sit there. My wife goes, "What are you watching? Don't worry about it. You just go watch Housewives of whatever county it is." I'll stay here with my Australian football, looking the other way.
That's great.
Me and my dog will stay here and watch this.
The thing that stood out to me from Australian rules was I was like, okay, these guys are beating the snot out of each other. This is awesome. But then when they scored, you had the dude in the trench coat with the hat that came out and like pointed with one finger or two fingers. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell that means, but it's funny as hell. It just seemed because it was so alien. They didn't bother to explain the game either. And I was like, that was a missed opportunity. They could have explained it to people that have never seen it before.
They don't care. When I grew up, we had 12 professional teams in my city.
Damn, that's a lot.
It was because Aussie rules really started. Was the focus of it was in Victoria, and then Perth was popular. South Australia was popular, but Melbourne had 12 teams, and that's back in the 90s. I think that's really all you were seeing. One team moved to Sydney, and then they tried to make it a national sport. And so now every state has one or two teams now. But it was crazy. The weekends, Saturday, you had 5 or 6 games on. You'd have teams would have buys, so you'd have 5 games on. You'd have 50,000 people or 70,000 people per game. It's a city of 1.2 million. I mean, everyone was at the football. and because it was all by suburb, Fitzroy or Hawthorne or whatever, those folks were fans for life.
Is it on? Is it on American television now?
No, I haven't seen it in years.
It's on ESPN.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, now they took it off for a long time, but I used to pay to go see the grand final here in town. We'd have a big party. There was like 400 Australians here in town, and we'd all get together and at 1 a.m. to watch the game, right?
One game I'd like to see them get on TV is hurling. Have you ever watched hurling?
Yeah.
Tell me that's not awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's just out of control, that game. It's like you combine hockey, baseball, football, and it almost has like a feel like Australian rules in a way, but they're running around with these sticks in their hand, and these guys whale that ball, and it is just it's a good sport. It's an interesting sport to watch.
It's like a hyper aggressive lacrosse.
Yes.
We get so wrapped up in the baseball, which is boring, and all that. And there's just so many great sports overseas for us. Yeah, there's just so much passion. Like I do my Subbuteo League every Sunday, okay, which is flick, English football, and I watch the Premier League all every Saturday, and just the passion and how passionate people are. Baseball is not boring, he says.
I mean, if you cut out all the
I think watching baseball is boring. Especially
the highlights.
The highlights are good, but I mean, I played it for years and it was very, very good, and played up until I was 50 something. Actually, I was on a traveling team that was here. I love playing it. I just can't sit there and watch it. I can't sit there and watch it. Not with today's athlete, today's multi-million-dollar athlete.
Yeah.
The old days, it's a different story.
Yeah, you look kind of like Babe Ruth. I could see you up there.
Yeah.
Shot.
I was more like Pee Wee Reese.
I enjoyed like going to a baseball game. So if we would go to like a minor league game in the area, that's fun. Get some hot dogs, a couple of beers, watch a game, have fun with the family. That's one thing. But just sitting there watching on TV, no, that bore the hell out of me. I'll go to sleep.
Minor league is also faster because they don't have all that TV stuff that you're dealing with the majors. You have to have that timeout every couple minutes.
Yeah, or stand there and look at each other, shake each other. I mean, just throw the damn ball. Throw the damn ball. It's not like.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's not like the 70s when you actually had guys that were were very passionate about the game. Today's modern player really demeans the meaning of the game, I think, to some degree. I mean, they're tremendous. They're better athletes than that older guy, but the people of yesterday, maybe for me, you can even say, maybe because it was, as a boy, it was exciting.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I still watch it. They'll show reruns of old stuff and I'll go, wow, I remember that. And wow, look how intense and passionate they are and how much the game has changed. It's become a corporate thing.
Right.
That's why I won't watch any of it now.
Yeah.
A lot of professional sports have become that way. I think it's kind of sad. Australian cricket was a fantastic, noble sport, right? Australia versus India, Australia versus England, Pakistan, all these, New Zealand, all these wonderful countries, South Africa, and you were playing for national pride, and now it's become this international cup that's, it's all sponsored and dollars and ads, and you're like, okay, great, that's good. Let's move right along now. I'd rather go roll dice and paint some minis.
Whoa, you heard it here. He wants to paint some minis. So
there you go. 15 mil.
Go. Part of the live stream is going to be Kev painting minis.
We'll start with tanks. Shh.
Rayon.
But
It'll probably look like some of my old stuff. Do you ever do that? Look back at your old stuff when you painted when you first got into painting?
Yeah.
And compare it to modern. It's just like, oh my God, I can't believe I was that bad and I thought this looked good.
Oh God, yeah. I looked at one of I looked at a model I did. I did a Viking ship and I still had it. And it was one of those things where I think we're pretty good for a little while longer. I was a big comic book collector when I was a kid. And the reason I do a lot of things on the channel and the reason I do all this stuff was my uncle, who was very dear to me. And everybody that watches my channel knows that my uncle was my whole world. And he had passed away when he was 50. And he was just a little bit older than me. So losing him was something. He was this hippie and was into all this stuff. Just amazing. But to get back to it, I would read comic books, and he was a phenomenal model builder and painter. And I saw this thing in the back, and he says, "Send one penny, we will send you 12 models, one a month." And then you had to buy 6 afterwards at like $7 back then, which was like $93, when I was a kid. But I didn't care. I sent the penny anyways. So the first thing I got, I couldn't wait. You check in the mailbox every day. Nothing. Nothing. Then all of a sudden it came. And it was this Viking ship. It was probably about this big. And I got it. And I asked my father to go get me some of the old tester paints and everything like that. And I sat there and I painted it. And I swear to God, it was the worst thing that if you saw it, it was just horrendous.
But you were proud of it.
Oh God. Then the next month was a helicopter. I wanted the space stuff because my uncle used to do the big Gemini from the space race. I was
nice.
Oh, and he'd do the little control panels on the inside and everything, and the astronaut. Oh, he was just
awesome. That's awesome.
And I still had that Viking ship. And one of these days, I'm going to pull it out and go, "This is the first thing I ever did."
You should do that when you do one of your painting shows. You should maybe next week try to get it out for next week if you can, and just say, "Hey, this is what I started as, and this is what I'm doing now."
Well, I went away from it for a while, and then I was introduced into Blood Bowl, and I went, "Oh my God, this is glorious!" and it was the very first edition, and I painted this orc with a tester's kit, and he's glossy. And he's glossy, all glossy and looks horrible. And I compared the orc to the orc I did the other day, and I went, "Whoa, big difference!" Because I still have everything. Oh man,
you still have all that original Blood Bowl stuff?
Oh God, yeah. I'm looking right at it. I have the very first set. I have Dungeon Bowl. I hate that. I have Dungeon Bowl.
No kidding.
Damn.
I had the first edition of Blood Bowl and a bunch of teams for it. I'd even won some teams and some tournaments. And one of my moves, when I was in the military, how you have to store stuff at like relatives' houses. My Blood Bowl collection got left in someone's attic and it got lost. And I was so upset about that. I was happy when they re-released Blood Bowl and I could get into it again, but I was like, damn, those old minis are probably worth a fortune now. And they're Lord knows where.
The out of all the games I have, the one that means the most to me is my wife. The first thing she ever bought me was I wanted the new edition of Blood Bowl, and we couldn't find it. It sold out. She wrote somebody in Canada, and she got me that edition. And she just came in the mail, and then she goes, "Oh, this is for you." Open it up and went, "Whoa!" It's like it was like the greatest thing. To this day, I will never get rid of that game just because of the sentimentality behind it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, she just, she knew, this is something that interests him. Matter of fact, I was just reading up some things because I'm starting that league. You should get your team ready.
Oh, I hear a throwdown here.
You should get your team ready. because I have no problem throwing a ghetto beating on you. I'm just
I think I'm gonna have to go with my undead boys.
You bring your undead boys. I'm bringing my chaos team.
Have to find me a special star player, some type of mummy or something I can paint up to go with it, because it's just the 12 base characters right now.
You bring your mummy, because I will plow the road with bandages all the way to the end zone. There'll be nothing left of your poor undead team, just bones.
Did your wife ever try Blood Bowl with you?
No. My wife.
I got my missus to try it.
She liked it?
And well, we were having fun at first, and then I started winning. And then it wasn't as much fun to her as it was before. She's like, "You're knocking down all my guys." Like, that's the point, honey. And she's like, "What do you mean it's turned over? It's still my turn." I'm like, "No, you gotta listen. This is how it's played." She's like, "I don't want to play anymore." I'm like, okay, we'll take a break.
First rule of trying to get your wife to play is to not beat her, and win the game. Otherwise she's not going to play again.
The funny thing about Blood Bowl, and I consider it one of the greatest games ever made, because as a coach, it's the closest thing. You become very attached to players, and then they die. And it's the most awful feeling in the world. And yet you hire a new guy and you try to go on without him. Everything's ruined. Your game plan is completely ruined. You're still in shock. How did he roll 12s? How did he roll double sixes? Are those days that, and there, no other game do you talk as much crap than Blood Bowl. Because you feel
it's good for that.
Oh, it's. I don't like talking junk, but Blood Bowl, it's kind of like, oh, okay, spread them out, let's go, and people like to play the big, strong teams, and because you like to hit the squishies, okay.
Oh yeah.
But I could take a squishy team, and I'll win with 4 guys left.
I could see you playing something like a high elf team or a dark elf team, something nice and dainty, prancing across the field.
Oh, absolutely. High flying.
That's what Dave Thompson says. High elves.
High elf boy. High elves have won the league quite a bit of times. I've won.
Well, they're cranked up on meth. That's why.
A lot of tournaments I've won. I actually have the Blood Bowl trophy.
Nice.
Blood Bowl is just classic because it's not just a game of luck. A lot of games that have dice in it, you're going to have a luck factor that is just going to be in the game, but it's about mitigating that luck factor and playing to the skills of your team. That's the whole point about Blood Bowl.
And leaving that chancy roll for the very last move.
That double go for it to get into the end zone.
Yeah.
Praying for no one.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I won a tournament doing that.
Rob,
I had to make 2 dodges and then 2 go for it's into the end zone, and that would win the game. Anything else would be a loss. And I was like, just no one. The dice rolls, comes up something besides a 1. I was like jumping up and down. I can't remember. I was something like 20 or so when that happened. But God, I still remember that game to this day.
That's amazing.
Holden, you're very welcome, my friend. All right. Hey, guys, I got to get back to work.
That's what we were wondering when you're going to have to go, but we're going to have to. We'll call the show done now because Rob does have to get back to work.
Yep.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight, and Rob, as always, it's great to have you on finally, and it's always great to chat with you. So look forward to getting you on again soon.
You can have me on anytime you want,
and we'll have to do that stream.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we all of us talk quite a bit, so we'll talk about it off air.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you, everybody. It was a good time, and I will see you guys soon. Have a good time.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Night, everybody.
Bye. Take it easy, Kev.